The American Farm Bureau has released its latest Marketbasket survey, and as you might expect, it found food prices are still on the rise. Joining us now with this week's Bottom Line is Neil Melancon, and Neil is over at Calandro Supermarket on Government Street here in Baton Rouge. And Neil, we've talked about this on our program many times over the last couple of years. Is there any good news in this survey?
Well, Mike, the good news and the bad news are kind of the same right now. Grocery store prices, like the ones here at Calandro's in Baton Rouge, have risen about 7% since both last year and last quarter. Now, the good part of that, though, is that prices overall are down from 9% increases last year and may drop to as little as 2 to 3% by the end of the year. The big driver in prices right now is energy. Higher gas prices have driven up everything from the price farmers pay for their fuel to transporting food to processors and grocery stores, as well as the costs for packaging, handling, and processing. American Farm Bureau economist John Anderson says if fuel prices were taken out of the equation, food prices would still have risen, but only about 4 or 5%. The second big driver in food prices is beef. The same problem with a lack of supply coupled with steady demand for beef continues to drive prices higher. Overseas demand has remained strong, and it's still going to take a while before the country rebuilds its national livestock herd back up. Some signs of that taking place have begun, but we first have to see whether or not there will be a drought like last year in the southern plains states, which would force another sell-off. One hiccup in beef prices recently has been the so-called pink slime issue that has turned off customers to beef in many areas, even though finely textured beef, as it's officially known, poses no health risk. This will be a limited price break, though, as summer grilling season kicks off soon and demand goes even higher. The bottom line is we're over the hump for the worst of these price increases, and by Christmas we should be back down to those lower levels that we saw a couple of years ago. In the meantime, what you can do to save money is buy local, especially at places like Calandro's here, where you can pick up these giant tomatoes grown in Kentwood, Louisiana, and thereby cutting out a lot of the middleman costs that drive prices up, and it'll save you money in the long run. Back to you, Mike.
And Neil, those tomatoes from Kentwood look outstanding, and as we all know, fresh and local is better. Thanks. And remember, you can listen to Neil's radio reports on the Louisiana Farm Bureau Radio Network. For a list of stations where you can listen or tune in online, click on over to our website, twilatv.org, and look for the LFB radio link on the left side of the home page. That does it for this edition of This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Be sure to join us next week when Kristen Oakes will take us to Alexandria for the inaugural Louisiana Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Livestock Show. It's a great event for a good cause. Until then, you can watch any of our stories online over at our website. You know the address, twilatv.org. For all of us here at This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Michael Dana. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope to see you again right here next week.